Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this spiral bracelet. This one's super quick and easy to make. It makes a great anklet and it's perfect for beginners, so if you've never made a bracelet before, this is the perfect one to start with because this is the basic knot that you'll need for pretty much every other bracelet. So to make this one, you'll need some embroidery floss. Here I have these colors. You can find this at Walmart. I know Joanne has a great selection. It's on Amazon. Make sure and check your local craft store, see if they have any. Sometimes it's marketed as friendship thread. It's a little bit different than embroidery floss, but either one will work fine. Today I'm going to use embroidery floss. You'll also need some scissors and something to anchor it on. I like to use my water bottle. You can also put it on a clipboard, tape it to your table, or I've even seen people loop it around their toe if they really get in a pinch. And then if you want to, you'll need some letter beads to add on your bracelet. So to start off, I'm going to cut a little bit of floss. I have two pieces already cut here, and these are about 4-foot strands, and I folded them in half, so these are about 2 feet since I folded them. So I'm just going to cut my third strand to be the same length as the other two, and you want to have 3 colors for this one. You can do more colors, more strings if you want. Just the more strings you have, the thicker the bracelet will be. So I'm just starting off with 3 colors, 6 strands, and that's generally how many I use to make this bracelet. That'll make it the same width as the example I showed in the beginning. Alright, so now I have all my strings and they're folded in half. Now I'm going to take these loops that I have because I folded them and just kind of make sure they're all the same length right here. And then I'm going to tie a knot just like you would to start tying your shoelaces. I'm just going to make a little loop like this and take my original loops and put it through like this. And now that I have tied this knot and made it into a little loop like this, then I'm going to take my water bottle. I'm just going to loop it around. This way you don't have to tie it on, you don't have to worry about it being hard to get off. You just loop it right around and then it's nice and easy to get it off. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pluck out one strand and leave the rest of them in a bundle. It doesn't really matter which color you start with. I'm going to pick the green, but just pick one, and all you're going to do is make a 4 shape, just like this, with the bundle being the back part of the 4 and the single strand being the pointed part. And then you're going to go under the rest of them and up through the hole you made and pull through. And when you've done that, slide it up and tighten it right next to your initial knot. And then you're going to pull it back to the left and do that again. So you're making the 4 shape. You're going under the rest of your strands and up through the hole. And then pull the rest of it through. And then you're just going to slide that loop up and tighten right at the top. So you're going to keep making those same 4 shapes. And that will allow you to make these little knots, and they'll start to build up at the top. And it's natural for them to want to kind of move to the side, so eventually it'll feel like your string kind of wants to roll under, and that's okay. That's what gives it the spiral shape. So once it feels like your string kind of wants to move to the other side, you can just go ahead and let it fall under instead of trying to force it back to the left. So you're going to keep on doing that until you feel like you have enough length of the one color that you started with. Okay, so now I'm happy with this green section. I think that's enough. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that strand I was using to tie all those green knots and put it back in my main bundle. And then I'm just going to pluck out a strand of a different color. This time I'm using pink. And I'm going to start the exact same thing over again. I'm going to make the 4, I'm going to go up through the loop, and I'm just going to tighten it right up next to the green ones. And then start doing the same thing with the pink until I'm happy with the length of the pink segment. And now I'm going to switch to the orange and do that segment. Alrighty. So if you want to add beads, this would be a great time to do it. And because this bracelet is so thin, if you have these square beads, they'll tend to slide around. So what I like to do is just tie a knot at the end of my my segments of color. So I'm going to tie one knot right here, and because generally that one will get kind of tight and be the same size as everything else, I'm just going to tie one more knot right on top of it so that it's big enough to keep the letter beads from sliding around. Okay, that should do it. And then my favorite way to put the beads on is just to take the middle of the strings and twist them really tight so that they start to kind of fold over on themselves, and then fold that in half so you have this like halvesy little twisted bump right here. And then I'm just gonna thread that through the bead, and that keeps you from having to put every individual end into the bead. And you just pull this out through the other side and pull that end out, and then you have your bead. So I'm just going to do that for the other beads. Twist it, fold it in half, and then put that through the bead. Alright, now once all your beads are on, you're just going to tie another knot at the end. And then another one to make sure that it doesn't fall off or slide around your bracelet. There we go. Now, you can continue making your fours, and you'll see that some of your strings are a lot shorter than the others because you've used these to make knots and you haven't used these yet. So I'm going to start again with the green section, but I'm going to make sure and use the longer green string. So how I do that is I just pick it out and pull on it and then slide the rest of them up, and then it's easy to see which one is the one that I need. So now I'm just going to continue the bracelet like that. Alright, so now all my strings are about the same length, and I've finished enough to make it a bracelet. If I wanted it to be an anklet, I would need to make it a little longer, and you might even want to cut a little more string in the beginning, but this is probably enough to be a bracelet. So I'm going to go ahead and unloop it from my water bottle. And there you go. You have a bracelet just like this, and you can make it a couple segments longer if you wanted, or you could just leave it like this and have a little bit of extra string at the back. So I hope that made sense, and happy bracelet making. I love you all. See you soon.